Welcome back to Fairy Fucker. So, let's do this.
Yay!
Alright, so we're continuing the differences of the PS3 version. When we first go to Kidanar, it's quite different, and they tried to go for a more visually graphic thing with the cockroaches or beetles or whatever the hell these bugs are even supposed to be.
Cockroaches.
You'll see, you'll see. Also, this music is terrible.
Yeah.
Wait, what music?
Dubstep.
There you go. There you go, Dibs. The music is the person's head split open, revealing a monster inside.
Oh no, it's Dead Space.
For those who don't remember, in the original PS4 version, this is more implied than directly told to you. But in the and that picture doesn't show in the PS4 version either.
Why did they remove this?
I honestly
doesn't look that violent.
I honestly don't know, Teo. I like I've said to Jova in the previous part. Like Jova said, I'm the one who likes to theorize about this kind of shit. But this game is too nonsensical even for me.
So let me get this straight. This game actually explains to us that the people turned into these things, or that these things have been infiltrating the people or something, all alien style or otherwise.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
You see, you see, guys, the reason.
Oh, they're even called Ganadas. It's like Resident Evil 4.
You see, guys, the reason there's so much visual novel presentation is because the moment these character models show up on screen, the frame rate takes a giant tank downwards.
That defies logic. Shouldn't sprites be able to run just fine anyway?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the models, the moment the character models show up. Anyway, alright, so in the original first trip...
Hold on. There's actually a wind texture there?
Yes, this was removed...
Why did they remove that too? I mean...
That's because the Bowie Valley first visit is considerably different from the PS4 version. It's not...
there's a vocal tune too, so wait, what are they doing now?
No, Jova, this is, what's the call? Brofees, the tracking Sonic Forces.
Fist bump. No, fist bump is cool. This is just terrible.
Yeah, nowhere close to fist bump, but yeah, what the heck is
What's going on?
Why were they trying to fight a tornado?
Okay, let me try to explain. Basically, what's happening is, in the original version,
This music again!
I think I get it, Pedro. They try to theorize, but the wind current prevents them to keep that form.
Not so much that. It's more so the fact that the Fury is in a place that's surrounded by a tornado. So we need to find a way to get her somewhere in a tornado. And yeah, Java's plan is to enter the tornado from the top.
You want me to enter that tornado?
That tornado is carrying a Fury.
Yay! I do it! If you get blown away, then I'll be happy, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh, don't be selfish.
That means you should be
What?
willing to die on my behalf.
Why are all these characters evil sociopaths?
Oh my, I am terribly sorry. I had no idea your burglings were strictly ornamental.
You know what is it, Shiroi? It's like this. It's like every single. It's like every single. Imagine. You know what this would have been, Shiroi? This is what would have happened if every single character in South Park was Cartman.
There's no time for idle banter. What will you do if some other fencer steals the Fury while we stand around talking?
Okay.
Okay,
okay, bitch. Do you have any good ideas aside from just bitching at us?
So basically, this game is the closest we'll get to Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, I thought Galdon would have suggested to kill whoever took it.
No, Galdon's not that stupid, even though the game wants us to think that.
Hey Pedro, do you think this is the closest we'll get to Aaron Sorkin?
Probably, Debs.
Pedro, does this theme play whenever anyone theorizes in this version?
Yes.
Also, Virgo, they actually hadn't sprite.
This is
the sprite.
That theme. That is the Fair Ice theme. However, Java, my guess is they realized that it was too much, so they removed it in the PS4 version. So yeah, in this, what happens is Galdo's going to use his scythe and his Fair Ice form to drill underground and enter from below the tornado.
There you go, Dweebs. They use the drill whisper.
I love how they didn't even think to add a sprite of Fair Ice Galdo.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't want to go in because she doesn't want to get her wings dirty.
Why don't you send
What
Kiwi
now?
the dog? I mean, thing.
Rich girl wouldn't like it, but
Unfortunately, Teo, most of the time the developers forget that Kiwi even exists.
Don't you think this is too
What a
reckless?
shame.
What if this is a trap?
It's a trap.
And there you go. If you remember correctly, in the original PS4 version, they just have the Fury be right there, and then Ethel shows up. My guess is they figured, this scene was sticking a bit too long. Let's just cut it short and skip straight to Ethel.
Yeah.
Faster,
Yeah.
Your ginormous ass is in my face.
Thank you.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
Ass joke.
That's so asinine.
Kill, 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 kill.
Yes. We know, honey. You want to kill the people who wrote you so stupidly.
We're here. Thanks for
But-
We're here, even though
So-
we're here, even though the background looks exactly the same. As far as we can tell, we moved for nowhere. But
This game keeps delivering, man.
Yes, me. This was as easy
that's exactly the point, Teo. This game is so completely not trying. It's so blatantly easy to make fun of.
Seem like Goldo's trap?
Like the thing is, Teo, the flaws of this game are so apparent and blatant. It's like picking on a retarded person. Like.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily that, Pedro. It's more like, pardon for the food analogy, having to eat a cake when it's like for 1/3 extremely delicious,
Oh, great.
but the other 2/3 are shit.
Please don't speak to me like that in such a tense situation.
Oh goodies.
Alright, I'll give you one credit. Okay, I'll give you one credit. You did put a little different spin on this particular iteration of the running gag, but the running gag itself is still unfunny anyway, so it still doesn't work either way.
Question: why is she acting so paranoid? Like, well, she actually theorized before in that Galdo's now trying to trap.
Yeah. Well, remember, Joe, but this is right after Galdo joined our party, so she's still a bit apprehensive and fearful that he's gonna betray
hello,
us.
Harley. You're still in the game.
And he's just upbeat.
You mean her boobs are still in the game, too?
Yeah, Ben agrees.
You just have an axe to grind with him, right, Kiara?
For no reason.
Actually, none of his characters actually have an X. I know it's a way of saying, but you know.
love you guys. Of course, I still love Tiara too.
Oh.
Aww.
Okay.
So there you go, just like in the PS4 version, Ethel tries to,
Wow.
Ethel attempts to kill Yara, but Galdo puts himself ahead. So right now we're basically we've finally got to the point where the PS4 version starts.
Okay. I like how they're having this
Yes,
fight do all this stuff
soon.
like going up and down and all around over the screen compared to like the PS4 version where they're just standing and stuff. I mean,
Actually, I'm gonna have to side with Tiara. I don't see any cuts in his sprite, so yeah, maybe he is faking it.
You know what's sad, Pedro?
What?
Generic skits from any Tales of game, even starting from Fantasia, has character portraits in tiny boxes, and those are way more expressions than these characters.
I know.
It's mind-boggling.
But Teo, the big difference is that those games didn't have the budget of a fucking lunch. Yeah.
And you know, I know it's not much, but again, them taking out all the different movements and motions, like heck, I dare say I even saw Fangs' sprite actually tilt its head to show a moment of confusion from him. I'm wondering, why did they take out all these sprite movements in the PS4 version? Like, you know, I get that some of those things could have been jarring, but dude, those sprites didn't do much on their own. Having all that jumping and actually leaves me less confused in some situations.
I don't think it's so much the matter of the sprites themselves. The sprites themselves look about as well animated as they do in the PS4 version.
I'm talking about what they actually do with the sprites. They, you know, like,
that.
move around, get closer.
Like I said, Jova.
Or, you know, they actually have people's heads tilt here and there.
Like I said, Jova, my guess is they cut most of this because they figured this was taking a bit too long and for no real reason, so they decided to just, streamline it.
Wait, hold on. She said something other than kill right now.
Yeah, she said annihilate, which is another word for kill.
And butcher, though.
Exterminator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just say exterminate or something.
Why hasn't she said that yet?
I hate you so much.
Because reasons.
I'm disappointed in this game even more now.
It's not just that. It's not.
Fury is just disappointed because it's not quoting something that comes from Wales.
It's not even just
It's
that.
weird.
No, it's not that. It's just like they've made so many like crappy 4-4 jokes and references.
Yeah.
The one that's staring them right in the face, they don't make.
And this America is...
Oh, look at that punch, Hiroi! You're gonna die a definite death. Definitely. Get it? Huh? Definitely. Huh?
I died a death when you introduced me to this game.
You're finished.
Also, Shiri, not just that, Miss America is pretty known for having, for knowing to put references here and there in their translations. So by all accounts, they
Wait,
here.
wait, hold on. Even here she's saying stuff other than kill, like,
Watch out, babe!
didn't say anything but kill up until we started
Oh
to get to know her
no,
better.
she dead.
Yeah.
Like, seriously though,
My name
What-
is
Like a potato sack.
I'll kill you then.
There you go. So that's how things went down in the PS3 version. But the result was basically the same. It just took longer for it just to
No.
get here.
so here's my question. Why does Karen need to translate
I don't know, Jova. My guess.
sentence there?
My guess is, Jova, what happens is she can say other words, but all of them mean kill anyway, so she still needs to be translating.
Synonymous.
She's playing the
The thing is that,
synonym
well,
game, basically.
No. The very last sentence she said when she died, she actually said kill, kill, and then she actually said a complete sentence, which was different from what Karen. It's not even synonymous.
Well, Jova, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
I completely
So let me
Yeah,
get this
it's also
straight.
inconsistent.
Let me get this straight. In the original PS3 version, even though we're building up to this whole thing about Ethel having a reason for saying only kill, she still says stuff in complete sentences other than kill before they get to know her.
You figured that one out.
I guess that's one thing the PS4 version fixed.
Yeah.
Was your fault.
Thank you.
And here, there's actually a reason for Fang to call her out on that.
Now is the time to
So,
talk to me like
after
that.
I compliment an improvement that the PS4 version made, I now have to compliment the PS3 version for actually properly giving a reason for why Fang and the group are so annoyed with Tiara. What the heck is this game?
And Galdi's just rolling with it.
Yeah. It's not even just that, too. That's the thing. For as much as Karen and Ethel become better characters when we finally get to know their backstories, by the time we finally get that point, it's already 80% into the campaign, and even after establishing those backstories, they don't do anything else with the characters anyway. So even that ends up being all for nothing.
It's honestly hard to actually remember them.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen like two versions of a game that I compliment yet also criticize so much.
Sonic Unleashed?
Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah.
Thanks for the grub.
Hey,
So what's different
touch it
here?
with your hands.
Yeah, this particular scene is exclusive to the PS3 version.
Don't be so nitpicky.
It is. I could have sworn that
Your wings are gonna get wrinkles.
it's in the PS4 version. But if it-
Munch, munch.
Hold on, let me look it again. Yeah, it is.
I agree.
Basically, Jova, this is a scene that got removed. In the PS4 version, we have a different scene that's smaller and takes place downstairs instead of here.
Actually, Tiara, as far as I recall, using your hand to read certain elements is allowed by the table manner book.
Keep in mind, there's it's a lot of cutscenes to look over and to process. At this point, I myself even get confused at some point.
You know, the sad thing, Pedro, is that the reason I confused this for another scene is that, like with that other scene,
It looks
Harley's
identical.
Barry is wearing the apron, and Galdo and Fang are both in synonymous complimenting the food. Like, the scene meant that little. That's all it takes for me to...
One-dimensional
confuse that
characterization
scene with
does
this
this,
scene.
Jova.
Yeah.
Really said much about her past.
Oh, there you go. See that now I remember. Yeah, this particular version is in the original PS4 version. We never actually learn about Tiara's background, but in this version we do.
And they removed that? Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god! No, seriously, this
different from your own.
removing...
How many?
Is it actually explained in different forms in the other two routes?
In the PS4 version, it's more implied rather than specifically told.
If you suddenly kidnapped me and demanded a ransom from my family.
So there you go.
You'll never know, Jova.
Got me.
Don't worry, Jova. Her backstory is just a generic. I'm a rich girl and blah blah blah, and I want. So obviously, I'm not gonna tell you everything because otherwise you might kidnap me and ask me for ransom. She's nothing but a rich, stuck-up bitch. Don't worry. Her backstory is nothing to write home about.
Middle of an adventure.
Yeah, but at least we have a backstory.
Yourself get distracted. some other
Well,
fencer will come along and
That's
defeat
debatable
you.
whether one would consider that better or worse.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lose sleep over its absence. Honestly, there you go. See, as you can see, it basically led to nothing. So whatever.
You know, one thing I've noticed is that in the PS3 version, do you know the parts where Fang is, complaining about people? Well, here it actually seems more warranted because the characters actually do stuff that's legitimate.
Oh, that's right. Hold on, let me explain this. Okay, in the original PS3 version, when we visit the Casca's Ice Cave for the second time, they do this thing where Tiara doesn't actually show up on screen aside from moments like these, because she's trying her best not to spew snot. Because ladies are proper ladies don't have mucus, even though that's stupid. So basically, we're gonna have always constantly these moments where the characters will always ask Tiara while she's off screen. So, are you okay there, Tiara? And he's like, I'm fine. Just keep going without me. Like basically, it's a running gag. In the PS4 version, they removed that because I guess even they didn't realize that it wasn't funny. There you go, Teo. When he has in this original design of his spirit form, the screenshot looks like this.
This is a superpower version of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm glad that he changed the overall design.
Yeah, this original design is just stupid, honestly.
Let's do this.
You don't even
we
have
can fly. Yeah.
All right, and now
Okay, we still can't do that.
Man, I'm tired.
Then your wish is granted.
Oh boy.
You're a genie all of a sudden.
hey, more food.
Metaphor
Yeah.
job, kind of like Shadow at the beginning. of
Let's
Sonic
skip.
Adventure 2.
I'm gonna skip to the part where it actually is new.
Skip.
Wait, there's
I'm just wishing for the genie from Wacky Races, who's really snarky and jokey, and at the end, he turns the tables on Dick Dastardly and traps
I'm
it,
a
and
fencer
who
too.
says, "I'll teach you to laugh if I were in your place." And so the genie has Dick Dastardly take his place, and then he has that funny line at the end. Now you are in my place, former master.
What I'm showing right now, Jova, is there you go.
Groping.
You quack.
But she's not a medic. She has a
Quack,
doctorate.
I
She
guess
has a
she's
doctorate, I
she's
guess.
a professor, I guess. So
Oh,
she's-
give me the weight.
We're doing this again?
Well, remember, Jova, different timeline, so it's happening again.
Oh, so this is the second timeline.
Yeah, this is the second visit to Bowie Valley.
This is bad. The Fury's definitely back there. But we are at a standstill unless we can.
Remember, that's how it is. Because of the time travel, we just do the same shit over again.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that we're already in the second timeline.
That's because I'm jump cutting to all the different stuff. Because
Wait, actually, that begs a question. I forgot. What caused that
nothing
the
involved-
time travel?
remember, Teo, sorry, Fang wished for Tiara to be alive, and the goddess sent them back.
Oh, right. Okay.
So basically, there's nothing involving Pippin changed.
No-
The PS3 and PS4
Don't worry, Teo. Kenito said he's aware of it, which is why we had the PS4 version.
Oh, hello again, Apple.
But yeah, seriously though, nothing with Pippin changed. I guess
No,
we
it
really
didn't.
Hear about Pippin.
Let's just remember, Jova, that's what the alternate storylines are for. The problem is, like we've already established, you didn't actually fix anything, you just added more.
It's definitely her.
Oh,
Let's try waving at her.
Wait, is Pippin a possible love interest in one of those?
No. We just learn about his backstory and we even meet his father and everything.
Nice.
In the alternate storylines, I mean, specifically in the evil goddess route.
A fencer's
Is that like the final one?
Yes, the final one that we'll do, yeah. First we're doing the Vile God route.
Very strange and suspicious. You aren't
That was like the second easiest one.
Oh my fucking god! Can I talk about how much I hate this gimmick with Tiara, where she's constantly asking Fang, "You're not planning something perverted, are you? You're not thinking of something perverted, are you?" That's such a stupid anime joke, and I'm so tired of it. Ugh,
It's a trope.
I know, and I hate it.
A TV trope.
Thanks for watching.
This way.
Here she comes.
Alright.
Kill.
I love how she just came from the ground.
Yeah, she's like Bugs Bunny.
It's like a Looney
Kill
Tune.
you all.
Hey, she's even dressed like a bunny too.
Now I'm imagining the same bug from his catchphrase. That's all, folks.
Don't worry, we're not gonna do the whole thing because I've already shown the outcome of this battle in your actual playthrough itself. So
Bugs Bunny saying her lines. You know, like I can't do it.
That's Porky Pig you were doing there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you until
Oh,
you
you
Whatever. It's a Looney Tunes character.
I love how the way the sprites are lined up. It makes it look like they're talking while
Oh, you were,
they're talking. Karen and are talking while Ethel stands back listening and stuff like that. it's
Old man.
Oh, Booty.
Oh yeah, that's right. This game. This particular scene was also cut from the PS4 version. We were playing this game that I don't know what is because they never properly explained. They say Old Maiden.
Sherry,
Yep.
it's literally the game.
Yeah, they never explain what. Yeah, let's go. They never explain what game they're playing, how it works. They don't even say what the game's name is. It's a game they're playing. Just roll with it.
You know, for comparison.
Well, they've already lost, so.
You know, for comparison, when Witcher 3 introduced Gwent, it became so popular and was so well regarded by the players that they eventually had to create a separate entire game based around that in order to fill their demands.
So there we go, guys. This is supposedly the characters just acting nicely and slice of life stuff, so we can get to see them how they are when there's not battles. They're playing some ambiguous game that we don't know what it is.
So apparently it's a game that involves facial reading, so...
I'm guessing it's this universe's equivalent of poker. I don't
Wait,
know.
hold on, Old Maid! Oh wait, never mind. Okay.
It's called Old Maid. What the hell is that?
I'm gonna check.
Oh, hi, Pip. I'm still in the game, by the way.
Old Maid, that's a card game.
That's right, Tara. They're playing children's card games.
Well, it's actually a playing card game. You know, up there with poker, text them, hold them up.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm checking. It's true.
Oh, really?
Weird.
Alright then.
It's a real life card game.
My guess is that in the Japanese version we were probably playing what it's called.
Rock, paper,
one of
scissors.
their- No, Junk and Pawn probably, but also a very
Hold on,
version
Tail, let
of
me
it.
just,
Yeah.
So yeah, you might remember how this also happened in the PS4 version. What happened, if you remember correctly, in the PS4 version, we just jumped straight to Sherman suddenly showing up. But in here, we had them playing Old Maid first, which is why I showed this.
With a comedy moment.
You sound like a common criminal. I guess you've shown us.
Personally, I'm okay with them cutting that out, because it was just pointless and was not funny anyway.
Easily? Get real. I'd
Yes,
sooner die
I'm
than give them to you.
I don't know if I said this last part, but even as somebody who watches MLP, I still find these colors incredibly oversaturated.
Well, to be fair, they fixed it in the PS4 version.
Yeah, the PS3 version also has this weird like bloom, like that blur. Sorry, that makes everything.
It's so bright. Who directed this? J.J. Abrams.
No, Webs.
I'll have to get my sunglasses.
It would be that would be lens flare. J.J. Abrams doesn't have an incredibly bright color palette.
So Shira is literally dealing with it.
I detest serving others.
Deal.
Which is why these men are under my command.
I think you're thinking, Webs, of James Gunn, maybe.
Do not let a single one escape.
Maybe a little.
Mahjong, that's what I was thinking before. It's a popular.
Prepare for battle. That's my generic line. Don't steal my generic lines.
And
We're skipping a bit. We're already done the PS4 version, so we're skipping it. All right, this particular Riverbank cutscene is exclusive to the PS3 version. There you go. We get.
honestly, I don't understand what Fang is thinking. He told me to come to this place at this exact time, but what on earth for? Oh god, no!
Oh, let me
not
guess,
a
to
day.
see his sister.
Yes, in the.
Why would they cut this?
I don't know too.
Please stop!
No, stop! Come back. That voice.
Well, Teo, if it makes you feel any better, the alt.
Let me go!
The
I
alt.
get it may be pointless or anything, but come on.
No. Actually, Teo.
Stop complaining, little lady.
Actually, I disagree too. I don't think it's pointless, but the thing is, if it helps you in the new storylines that they make, they do give more closure to him and his sister. So I guess that's why they did it. I don't know.
That's right.
Stop! Somebody!
Please help me.
Just let Libs be the villain, that be the bandits. I like it.
Sure.
I prefer his voice for the
Emily.
bandits.
Sure. Sorry. You fiends! What do you think you're doing?
I just realized she looks a bit like Mokuba next to
For a
her.
woman is killing you, your blood is not worth rusting my sword over. Leave at once before I change my mind.
Big brother, I'm so glad
Go ahead,
came
Dibs.
to my rescue.
Shut up, Mokuba.
I'll remember this.
Oh boy, Pedro.
Apollonius?
Shut up, Emily.
Objection.
Did Frank tell me to come here because he knew I would find Emily?
Remember, in the original timeline, it was him who saved Emily from those bandits.
Oh my god, big brother, I missed you. I wanted to see you so much. I called it.
Now be in charge of the Kaiba Corp.
See, the problem is that we never got to see them in.
The problem.
I disagree. Well, okay, it would have worked.
Proceed.
The scene works fine on its own. The problem is that we never saw these two characters interact before this, and we never even got any proper character development for Apollonius anyway. So it's kind of hard for me to feel anything here.
You know, I'm just gonna say right now, I think it was a mistake not making Emily a part of the party. Like, hey, girl who's looking for a sibling. Yeah, it's cliched for an RPG, but wouldn't it have made sense for her to be a part of the party?
Like this
so
game
we
is
could have
above
seen
cliches. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
But seriously though, why not make her a part of the party so that we get more scenes of them? Like, you know, go, okay, this scene between them is a good start. The problem is that we know that this is near the end of the campaign, so...
It's too late.
I'm sorry. It's like if you had the first romance scene between Spider-Man and Mary Jane, like, 20 minutes before the ending.
Now that I think about it, more than adding the two alternate storylines, we could have just expanded with that kind of content the main one and expand things like these.
Yeah, that's what they should have done. That's exactly the main problem that me and Joe have been mentioning for various parts now.
So-
They didn't actually fix any of the problems. They just added two new storylines on top of it.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, okay, well, yeah, I mean, because this scene does work, the problem is that it's way too late into the campaign.
And we have no build up. We don't really have any context for these characters. It's just we know that a basic sense of why we should care. It's just that we don't care because let's look at Emily here. Okay, who is Emily? Is she boring? Is she what does she like to do? I don't know anything about Emily. She's just generic anime weak girl.
Oh, guys, isn't it nice that the evil corporation still manages to treat, these little girl fighters?
Oh yeah, that's right. Dorf has been.
Corrupt and shit.
That's right, actually. Dorf has been supporting Emily all this time.
So, Dorfa has been supporting Emily, yet they're really evil still.
I need you support me. Yeah.
Seriously, what's the point? I mean, okay,
they said it was ex gratia payment after he supposedly died.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that. The problem is, like, well, they say, oh, but Dorfa's so evil.
See, guys?
I guess that's the point. One of the points of the cutscene to show that Darfa is not completely corrupted.
There you go, guys. This time she got to give the amulet to him instead of Fang.
I don't need it this time. I'm not going home until you accept it.
I guess I have no choice. I wonder where you got your stubbornness from.
Well, we are a lot alike.
Knowing this is Japan game, I'm fully.
And thank you, Jova. Thank you,
Not
Jova.
just that,
That's
not
exactly
just
that.
that,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, not just that, Pedro. Being a Japanese game, I'm fully expecting that the original Japanese text implied in subtext.
It kind of implied it right there. I mean, okay, the
Pedro, it's more common than you think.
I guess, sure. But anyway,
okay.
But that line that you mentioned, Jova, pretty much showed my big problem with this scene. They tell us that they're alike. They don't actually show us that they're alike, you know?
We don't even know what who their parents are.
It's a classic case of
we know that they are orphans or something, but
it's a classic case of the game telling us why we should care instead of showing us why we should care.
Again, they build up Emily with that scene where she's looking for Apollonius while he's dead. It's like, you know, again, I thought she was going to be a party member with how they were building her up, and yet no,
there you go.
It's not.
And as far as the PS3 version is concerned, that's the end for Emily.
Hello, Morgan.
Alright, remember how in the original PS4 version, when we visited the Luzamundo ice cave,
The
The
kids
orphans.
show up, yeah.
Yeah, the orphans showed up, and the soldiers used used the children as hostages to force Mariana to do what they wanted, right? In this one, let's just say that's considering how, as you probably guys already noticed. There you go. In the PS4 version, you get to choose eventually Mariana into your party. So my guess is they changed this scene to make her less evil in the PS4 version, just so you wouldn't hate her immediately when you eventually get her to join you.
And knowing the fact that Sherman's apparently a protagonist in one of the
Which
roles.
even I'm really interested in understanding the causes of the other two timeline, because for having this character as a party member instead of something like Taiga, it's weird.
Trust me, Theo, the excuse is really, really weak.
So I have to ask also, does she survive also in this version?
Yes.
Right here, in this version.
Yes, she does.
Wait, so she does die in this version, so...
No, she doesn't die in any timeline except for the Vile God route. She dies in the Vile God route, but none of the others.
Oh, well, I was talking about the original
Alright,
version.
it's also thing.
My question is like, do they still treat her like she truly cares for the kids in the PS3 version? Because
No.
that was
No,
the thing in the PS4 version.
What they imply in this version is that turns out the whole taking care of the kids was just a facade, so that she could maybe use them later or something like she's doing now. So obviously for the PS4 version, oh shit, we actually want her to be a party member this time. Okay, let's change this scene so that turns out she actually does care about the kids.
So
Yeah,
she's
what's even the point of Zagi again?
He's Mariana's second in command. Yeah,
No, I
bodyguard.
know, but he's like, oh, they fired me because I couldn't become a fencer. So why didn't you just retire?
I don't
He
know.
never even shows up in the battle.
Actually, it does. It's another. I remember strictly. It's another target we need to kill.
Yeah, but doesn't he just look like a random NPC?
Sort of.
He does
It's
a bit.
Also, so in the PS3 version, Mariana's just a karma Houdini who doesn't care for anyone but gets away with it.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My life is not
Oh, whoa!
That's an improvement, I guess, in the PS4 version. They made her less evil, I guess.
So one of us dies.
Lady Mariana, I will follow you into the depths of hell.
Dude,
That's so
You might want to
generic.
improve that line delivery there a bit.
Also, allow me to be very vulgar at the moment. Dude, she's not gonna give it to you. You know.
Also,
Come on.
you can all
oh, never mind. He does show up in the battle. I've never.
Yeah, that's
noticed
what they
it
told
before.
you.
He does. He does all his show job. It's just that he's so insignificant and easy to kill that it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things.
Sad. But yeah. As I was saying, she literally just.
Oh no! Sagi's dead too! Sagi's dead! No!
Also,
Guys, can you hear it? It's the sound of a fucks I don't give.
I just want
Isn't it magical?
I just want to point out something, guys. His name was Nagi out on the battlefield. Like, it was literally spelled N-A-G-I.
Typo!
It's, hey guys, it's Nagi the patronising firefly from the
They
ABTA
named-
game.
They named him Nagi during the scene where he dies a supposedly heroic death.
I had one fuck left to give. That fuck is gone.
What? even-
Zagi, you idiot! You should have never given him. What? And there you go. They literally put. I don't think they want to try to make us feel bad for him. This guy.
He
Never-
didn't even have an actual proper 2D sprite.
Also, I'm just gonna say this right now. Zagi, Mariana literally just said practically in front of you that you're cheap and all this bad stuff, and yet you still.
Do you really
I mean, he didn't even react to it. Like, maybe
Again, Jova, he wanted to give her the D, but he was clueless
The tone
about
of-
the situation.
This
that
game
seemed like
has.
the kind of
Sorry.
scene where he would then turn against her, and then she would kill him, and that would be a sacrifice.
Oh, oh my God! Stop it! We don't know anything about Zagi. Stop dedicating an entire sequence to this character.
You're
Oh
seriously
god,
dedicating
Pedro, it's Mission Impossible 3 all over again.
Except at least Mission Impossible 3 was fun to watch to an extent.
For comparison's sake, in Ace Attorney, yeah, we do have a lot of scenes dedicated to the victims, which for the most part tend to be off screen. Here's the thing though, the victims actually tie in deeply to the narrative plot, and heck, in games like Ace Attorney 6, we actually get to see a lot of insight.
Must be some mistake. Miss Mariana is really kind.
Jova, your pointer was so good, Discord wouldn't allow me to hear it.
Oh. Did anyone else hear it?
No.
Go ahead and repeat it. Hold on, Joe. I'm gonna have to interrupt you there. There you go, guys. We can hear Mariana's ARP in the distance as a little hint that maybe she maybe does care, maybe no.
Wow. Wow. Never mind the fact that,
This
she
is
just,
so bad.
She practically killed
Also,
them.
notice in the bottom left all the kids. I love how it was so clearly the same character model. They just recolored stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Grabs budget.
That was really... It's again with the blasting.
Look at the frame rate. Look at the frame rate while I'm doing this.
So, anyway, going back to what I was saying about Ace Attorney, it's like, when Ace Attorney has us talk all about these people who we never see, the victims who died, the thing is, like, well, they tie into the plot a lot, and heck, in games like Ace Attorney 6, we actually get to know quite a bit about the victims to the point where you feel sorry for them, like, immensely sorry for them.
Basically, I showed that attack because I wanted to show how bad the frame rate is when you use a long animation attack. Like, Alright, so this is the credits roll for the PS3 version. It's always the same.
I swear to God.
And yes, the song is different, as you can see.
So wait, does the English cast actually show up in the credits this time?
No. Which pisses me off to no much, because these actors deserve their fucking credits. God damn it.
I don't understand.
Me neither.
I'm not even gonna make the joke that they asked to have their names taken off, because no. There's no way everyone asked to have their names taken off.
Alright, since I've already shown...
Hey Tio, look, Nobuo Matsu!
And Yoshitaka Mano.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay, since I've already shown the post-credit scenes in the 2 parts ago, I'm not going to show anything. I'm just going to finish showing the credits, so there's no more cutscenes after this. So, time for final thoughts on the original PS3 version.
Wait, hold on. What about our final? Oh, never mind. I guess we're saving final thoughts on the PS4 version for when.
Remember, Jova. As far as 2014 was concerned, this was the end. So for all intents and purposes, we just finished the full game. So might as well.
Okay.
All right, and might as well also finish our thoughts with saying what we expect. Maybe the alternate storylines of the PS4 version can improve. But anyway, yeah, this is a game that has a great battle system and nothing else. The graphics are embarrassing for a PS3 game, honestly, if you ask me. I get that Compile Heart is low budget, but I think even Neptunia V looked better than this, honestly.
Again, that game you showed me, Arcray Fantasia for the Wii, was infinitely better.
Yeah, not just that. Oh, yeah, here's the Nobuo Uematsu track, the main theme. Yeah, the visuals are bad, the frame rate is god-awful in the PS3 version, and the world is incredibly bland and devoid of anything interesting. The story... I'm gonna take a cue from Dwebs' thoughts on the Time and Eternity story. The story is absolute dog shit. Even worse than Star Force Unleashed 2. Even though I never played it, I'll just take Dwebs' word for it.
God.
Yeah. And the characters are all incredibly horrible and annoying, except for the characters that are either too bland to be annoying, or characters like
or Lola.
Galdo.
Lola is a great character. Lola is great. I love Lola. But aside from that, yeah, those what we're seeing on the screen right now. Yeah, Ethel and Karen eventually get proper backstories that are fully developed and give us an actual reason to care about them. The problem is that by the time that happens, we're 80% into the campaign. And even then, after giving us their backstories, the game just forgets about that they exist anyway. So it's just two backstories that are just, existing in a vacuum and have nothing to do with anything.
Wait, Hikari was involved in this?
Is she? No, is it? Is she the one who sings this?
Actually, Jova, Hikari is the generic Japanese term that it's used for light. The singer properly for that theme is called Utada Hikaru.
Alright then.
Wow, that's the exact same Japanese name for the opening theme of
Jova, it's a fucking word.
Yeah.
It's like having multiple songs called Doorknob.
Anyway, the writing is god awful. It's a complete... This game is one of the biggest examples of tonal inconsistency I've ever seen. This game literally goes from being oh so wacky and comedic to trying to make us feel emotions like on a fucking dive, like that scene we just saw
I
earlier.
have to stop you there for a second. Okay, they had that many that they only had one monster designer.
Yeah, that's why the master design is so generic. Anyway, yeah. Like for example, the best example is that Zagi death scene that we just saw. Zagi has nothing to do with anything. He doesn't even have any proper scenes, and yet the game dedicates an entire scene to feeling bad about his death and philosophizing about how honor and shit. Fuck you, game. Anyway,
Ace Attorney, you are not, is all I'll say.
And yeah, aside from that, the music is nothing to write home about. It's not like the most god-awful soundtrack I've ever heard or anything, but there's no single track that I find really interesting or good. It's just, at worst it's terrible, at best it's harmlessly bland. Also, Tentacle Hentai.
They credit the localization team, but they don't credit the English voice actors.
Apparently, because the localization team was mostly composed by Japanese people.
Except for that Alan Costa and Damien.
So NIS America hates their actors, I guess. How nice. Also, I love game trailer. Okay, whatever. The point is, yeah, the game has a great battle system. The problem is that one great battle system cannot hold an entire game when everything else is terrible. It's just a terrible game, and I'll warn you right now, everybody. The PS4 version is not much better.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it for me. Go ahead, too.
Where to even start? It's a jumbled mess. I mean,
That's putting it lightly.
I'm on a logo.
I'm not even sure if I need to clean myself after saying this, but I almost dare to say that Final Fantasy X is better in that regard.
Easily.
It suffered the same identical problems, having a great battle systems and essentially nothing else. But even for what it was going for, it had at least a spine.
Hey, Teo, Final Fantasy X had Auron, Braska, and Jack and their whole story.
I mean,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X is quite honestly okay. I'd call it like, well, maybe the brink of Final Fantasy, but it's nowhere near, I'd say, one of the bad Final Fantasies. Like, I mean,
we'll get into it. Let's not get
we'll
into
say, yeah, I was just using it for a comparison, Jova, also. But the point is, this is clearly a game with an identity crisis, and it shows big time. Yeah, pretty much even the supposed improvements, at least for this part, on the PS4 version, just don't make it better. In fact, some things actually make it worse. So it's essentially a pick your poison situation. So my guess is that if you just want to enjoy the gameplay, you're fine in that regard with the PS4 version, because it has 60 frames and you're free to go. Although you
and
will
more
still be
characters, more abilities, and that stuff.
Although you will still be hearing that jingle every time you complete a challenge. But yeah, when it comes to the story, it's a disgrace. I mean, again, at least Neptunia had the excuse of using the video game satire going on. This tries to go for the generic fantasy, but in the process of doing so is either by the book or bland enough to not have a spine on its own. And it's sad because some of these characters may have potential. It's just not fully developed, or some of them are probably out of place. It's a shame, really. All right, let's see what happens next, because everything else I pretty much say during the entire rest of the game.
Let's see if the PS4 version does anything better. All right, go ahead, Oops.
It's rubbish.
Yep.
What else can I say? I mean, there was a couple of funny scenes, but everything else is just absolute dreck. The music, I could barely remember any of it, unless it's the trumpet theme or the even worse synth theme that meant to be for comedic moments.
I'm gonna have to disagree, Dribs. The trumpet theme was the worst.
Yeah, Jova, to my ears, Jova, bad synth is way, way worse than bad real instruments, but I'll get there. But also, the characters are annoying, except Lola, but we don't see nearly enough of her to offset the badness caused by everyone else.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is either stupid or an idiot or both. And then it's the same thing, innit? Fuck. Whatever. Everyone's crap except Lola.
Okay, Darth Vader.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think of the graphics for a PS3/PS4 game?
Not all that impressive, and I've played. I think I haven't. Granted, I haven't played any other games like this on PS3 or PS4, but even then, I don't think it really looks all that impressive.
Let me give you an example, Devs. The games made by Gust, aka the Atelier games, they look much better than this.
Yeah.
Who's Gus?
They made the Atelier series, and they recently made Blue River. It's another JRPG company that's a bit obscure, basically.
They're working for Tecmo Koei mostly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's about it. It's just rubbish. Next.
Right. Go ahead, Shiroi.
Well,
Let me guess what Wib said next.
what everyone else said. I mean, aside from Lola and no, sorry. It's very rare that I find something that's almost entirely irredeemable for gaming anyway, and yeah, this was pretty shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing the rest of this? I do not know.
Well, Shiroi. Shiroi, here's the thing. If we're going to do this game, might as well do all of it.
I know, but Jova, being better than shit isn't saying much.
Okay. From what I've heard, people actually do find like everything to be massively, and again, that's going off of this game's skill, but apparently to the point where it's actually decent and
the alternate.
good, apparently.
I guess it's a case of take what you can get.
Okay.
I'll put it like let me put it like this, as someone who's actually played it. Let me put it like this. The alternate storylines exclusive to the PS4 version do go in less bland and more interesting directions. But the
problem is that they have to change stuff up completely, don't they?
Not just that, Jova, but the writing is still overall terrible because it's the same team, the same writer, so it's still the same shitty writing anyway. So it's basically just a lot of wasted potential in general.
See, the thing is, like, I noticed a tiny little section during our playthrough that was from the alternate routes. My guess is that the reason people actually find those routes more enjoyable is that, well, from what we've seen, some of the characters have completely different personas here and there.
Only one.
Only one.
Only one. But I'm not going to spoil anything because you'll see in the next part who it is.
So, either way, though, it was only in these alternate routes that they decided to actually do more with the characters other than the same old stuff we've been seeing. Again, why didn't they just make this a remade story altogether instead of...
I don't know, Jova.
Alright then, I guess that leads to my final thoughts if you're done, Shiroi.
I'm guessing yes. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Let me start off with something no one else has started off with. Comparing the PS3 version and PS4 version is so mind-boggling. Like, there's so much stuff that one version does right that the other one screws up. And I'm asking so much, why did they take this out for the newer version? Like, okay, the way sprites are presented, better in the PS3 version because they actually do more with the sprites that give them stuff that doesn't leave us as confused. Heck, there's even stuff that, is shown in the PS3 version that's not shown in the PS4 version. However, the PS4 version does make some proper edits and takes out certain jokes that the PS3 version went too far with. So there's that. The PS4 version, thankfully, doesn't lag nearly as much, but it
doesn't lag at all. As far as the PS4 version is rock solid in terms of frame rate.
Yeah. The sprites do jack squat, though, other than just stand around and, I guess, look like they're breathing or whatnot.
Actually, allow me just a quick thing, Jova. How sad is it that this game had to come out on the PS4 to have a rock solid 60 frames per second? A game that should... A game that clearly is not even close to making the PS4 make an effort.
I know, right?
I mean, how sad is it that they couldn't even get this to run well on the PS3? It's
Like,
embarrassing.
I mean, I guess one could argue that maybe the reason they had trouble with the PS3 version was because the PS3 being the PS3 wasn't exactly the easiest.
No, we've already
Yeah.
eliminated that excuse. They've made free PS3 exclusive Neptunia games
that's
before
right.
this.
Yeah, that's right. They
That-
had no excuse whatsoever.
Not to mention, Jova, the several companies who made both PS4 and PS3's version of their game and they turned out relatively fine, just with minor instances like Metal Gear Solid 5 or Persona 5.
I mean, when you get down to it, this is essentially a Neptunia game without any of the remarkable things that make Neptunia renowned. And that's not even saying that much because Neptunia, wow, fun is niche. But again, it's like Neptunia Light. How did you screw it up on the PS3, which also Neptunia debuted on?
Yep, basically.
Doesn't make sense. So yeah, those two differences make so little sense. Now talking about the story itself as a whole. Okay, it starts off weak, but has some sense of promise, then squanders that promise, and then it just goes on an annoying tangent. But the first time around, then the second time around, it decides to actually have the characters be actual characters, like people who do stuff other than just bicker, like. And it's sad, really, because, the first half is wasted on that. It's like, everything seems to get better whenever they go back in time and redo stuff. And it's so weird, to say the least. And that's to say nothing about the bad writing. It's either not subtle or has no idea when to properly do stuff. Like, seriously, we actually have a serious scene with serious music going on during a hot spring section between two naked men. Like, look, I hate the cliche, but even I was thinking, isn't that kind of waste for a joke scene? Like, again, I get what, okay, this is something that seems to be trying to break cliches while also still doing cliches here and there. It's like, make up your minds. And then there's the plot contrivances. I hate those. And, well, it's at best a mess that will keep you captivated when it's not boring you. Like, it's a shame. The gameplay is the best thing. Like, the gameplay can actually be fun. The problem is that it's either too easy or gets turned into boringness to the point where you're just waiting for the next cutscene here and there. And the gameplay and story segregation bits, bad. And again, what hurts us the most is the fact that there are actually quite a few genuine funny, genuine good scenes. The problem is that
they're too little and too few and too late by that point.
Yeah, not only that, but they're placed badly too. To the point where it weakens them, sadly.
Like Theo said, the people who wrote this, the humor, the people who wrote this game have clearly no idea how humor works. Like Theo said.
I mean, there are some bits and pieces here and there, but I recognize that some of them are only just for me, because my sense of humor is very specific anyway. So I take that they're not exactly for a bigger crowd anyway.
So yeah, as far as the original version goes,
yeah. So yeah, everybody, tune in next time when we start the Vile God route. Where the game suddenly decides to put a new spin on things. I can't guarantee you'll like it, but hey, it's different. So tune in for that.
better than this.
Just prepare, I guess.
See you, everybody.
Well, hopefully it's all uphill from now.
Spoilers, it isn't. Okay, free. Alright, see you, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.